The thing that fascinates me the most about Star Wars Episode 9 has all to do with J.J. Abrams and exactly what he will be doing in order to connect this film into the prequels and the originals and all the major revelations coming our way for a number of major characters in this movie. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, I will have to say this, that Anakin Skywalker is one of the best characters in the Skywalker saga. Say what you will about the prequels, yes, some of the dialogue can be very clunky in Revenge of the Sith, but to me, there are great pieces of Hayden Christensen as Anakin in Episode 3, and I think he's the perfect choice and the true face of the Star Wars franchise, as well as Vader. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc., one of which has all to do with major revelations of the character of Anakin through dialogue of Luke Skywalker in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of Luke as a Force ghost standing in front of Rey, lecturing her about his experience as a Jedi Master and his path to where he is today. It's described that both Luke and Rey are in front of a large Jedi temple, that one of the revelations of Anakin is delivered through dialogue from Luke to Rey, revealing that not only did Yoda and Obi-Wan train Luke, but in his later years, his father, Anakin Skywalker, taught Luke much knowledge of the Jedi. Another description goes over Luke explaining to Rey about his experience entering the netherworld of the Force on Ahch-To, and entering and becoming one with the Force. It's explained through dialogue that Luke heard his father just before he died and guided him to becoming one with the Force. Another goes over Rey inside of Luke's hut on Ahch-To, where Luke left many personal belongings behind, one of which is a letter from Anakin to Padme, a letter written by Luke's father to Luke's mother, before Anakin turned to the dark side. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about this that are really getting me excited when it comes to all of the different pieces of lore that J.J. Abrams will be exploring in this movie, as well as revelations coming our way for some of the characters in the film. Now, the first thing that I really do want to go over is Anakin Skywalker. Now, this is most definitely exciting, that at one point in time, Anakin Skywalker actually did in fact train Luke Skywalker, his own son, and taught him much knowledge of the Jedi way. So, we're not quite sure if Anakin Skywalker delivered the traditional Jedi way, or if Anakin gave him, different knowledge, or perhaps knowledge of the ancient Jedi, if you will, or guided him to going to the first Jedi Temple. That we're not quite sure about, but nonetheless, Anakin Skywalker trained his own son, Luke Skywalker, in his later years. But the thing that really gets me, the thing that really excites me, and how it does indeed connect to the Last Jedi novelization, come to think about it right now, actually, off the top of my head, is that the mention of Luke Skywalker actually hearing Anakin's voice as he was dying on Ahch-To, and just before he entered the netherworld of the Force, and how Anakin guided him to becoming one with the Force. If you guys do recall, if you guys read the Last Jedi novelization, what's really intriguing is that the novel said that as he looked into the setting suns, Luke heard a familiar voice telling him to let go. Now, one would automatically assume that that is indeed Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? Because in A New Hope he says, "Let go, Luke," as he's in the trench run of the Death Star. However, this could most definitely be Anakin Skywalker now, come to think of it, about this revelation in Episode 9, about Luke revealing to Rey that his own father, Anakin Skywalker, guided him to becoming one with the Force. Now, you know what this reminds me of? I believe this is something that was in the Return of the Jedi novel, or at least in the original script, I can't quite remember. But there was a sequence in which Anakin was being guided by his own master, Obi-Wan, in order to guide him to becoming one with the Force and how to become a Force ghost. And he was actually teaching him how to do so. So that may have been in the novelization or the original script, I can't quite remember, I read it years ago. But what's even more interesting, and this is where things get a little crazy, is how eventually Rey is inside the hut of Ahch-To, that once belonged to Luke Skywalker, and in there, Luke left a lot of personal belongings behind, one of which is a letter from Anakin to Padme, before he turned to the dark side. So what is in this letter? is Rey going to read this thing? Is it written in Arabic? I'm not quite sure how it's going to be written, obviously, but when we look at everything related to Episode 9, this is something that most likely will be revealed in the Star Wars Episode 9 Visual Dictionary, which gives you a lot of more details about the character's belongings, such as in the Last Jedi Visual Dictionary, we learned a lot more about the movie in the book than we did in the movie. So, with that being said, guys, what do you think about all of this? Because this is very interesting stuff for sure, and these are the type of revelations that I really do enjoy. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to morning.